Hello, friends. I hope you're all doing well in this beginning of February. I've been thinking a lot about my roots lately, about the identity of a place, and about belonging somewhere. It's a very sensitive topic for me since it always takes me back to things from my past that I'd rather forget. You don't decide where you're born, in which family, in which country. I grew up in a family in which roots didn't mean much. I grew up moving from city to city, from one part of the country to the next, never staying somewhere long enough to be able to put down roots, never long enough to get to know it intimately, to get to know its people, its traditions. While it may be the norm for some people, it felt hard to me. Deep down, I think I always knew what I needed, but it's only when I became an adult that I really understood what was missing. My personality was craving stability, a safe place to go back to, knowing that it would always be there. Having roots means knowing where you come from, knowing that this place or this part of your country belongs to you and that you belong to it, so much that the very thought of it makes you feel safe, reassured and comfortable. I've never felt that way about a place before. I've only started feeling it deep inside of me when I settled here in Brittany, in this Middle Ages farmhouse. My personal definition of roots is closely linked to the land, and the land means nature, its landscapes, its weather, its houses. I knew that if I wanted to create roots for myself, I needed to get closer to the countryside and to leave the city. We are born natural animals. We don't belong to concrete and buildings. We belong to a land, its soil, its ground, its nature. One of my biggest wishes is to give this feeling to my daughter, to teach her to be proud of where she comes from. Her life and choices belong to her, but I will be so happy if I can succeed in teaching her that. So this is all the wood that we recently cut and that we're going to use for the next 2 or 3 years at least for the wood stove. There are other stacks of wood in other places on the farm, but there are lots of trees on the farm and we have a lot of land, a big surface area that we can use, and so every time there is a storm, usually there's at least one tree that dies, that falls, and when a tree dies we use it for the wood stove. We never buy wood actually, so that's very important to us to save money on that. It's hard for some people to imagine living in the same place for the rest of their lives, but it's all I've ever dreamed of. We are always dreaming of new adventures and finding a better place. Sometimes you just have to admit that you found that better place and that you're where you were supposed to be. I know I will never leave this place. I will live and die here. There's no other way. It's just the way I see my future. I know I will live here for the rest of my life. And this is very new for me, this feeling of belonging somewhere. It's comforting somehow. A lot of people have died here. A lot of people have lived here and been happy or sad. I will never know exactly. I will create my own story